the land to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand or 10,000 Kenyan shillings or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here. Yes, we are here. It is a celebration. It's not nothing bad. It's a celebration. I thank y'all for joining us today. We are trucking along. It is October the 8th, ladies and gentlemen. And, some people are doing early voting. Early voting will start here in Texas October 21. So it won't be too much longer for us. So tonight we're going to be talking about y'all favorite vice president of the United States, because that's who y'all love. Y'all love Kamala Harris and all her laughing and cackling and everything that go along with her. People cannot stop talking about her, so we're going to talk about her too. She did an interview with 60 Minutes, and I got to have a chance to watch the interview. But the 60 Minutes interview is the only one that really pressed her about the border and pressed her about how she was installed, right, to be the Democrat nominee. She did not go through a primary process like anybody else would normally go through, ladies and gentlemen. So we want to go on and review that. And because it's coming from 60 Minutes, we're probably going to be stopping it, and doing different things just so it won't, have no issues, no problems, right, because it's coming from 60 Minutes. But thank y'all for being here tonight. The song was to tighten up. Okay. All right. So I'm just reading what y'all was saying. A few things. Definitely, download the African Diaspora News Channel app for sure in the Google Play and Apple App Store. That's also very important. and I don't talk about this often. Maybe I should, because some people don't know about it. Let's say if a person say, well, you know what, yeah, I'm already on the app, or if you're not on the app, which I prefer everybody to be on the app, right? Hey, you join monthly, but if people's also interested in, hey, doing, maybe, we don't have Cash App. We don't do that because we couldn't have Cash App. We had to go to Square, right? So on our channel, we got our Square link or whatever the case may be. But we prefer everybody to be on the app because you just never know. Let's say like if it was some issue with a clip or something and we had to remove it or whatever, then the whole thing is on the app. Like we're streaming right now on the app, just like we're streaming here, Twitch or whatever. We may have to take something down on these other platforms, but it's always going to be there on the app, okay? The app is ours. And I was having a conversation today with a lady, from the credit union. And one thing they did like, say, oh, yeah, that's yours. Okay, great. Versus these platforms, people know how these platforms go up and down. They know these platforms, whatever. So if you say, how can we support the platform? Our goal is to get 10,000 members on our app. 10,000. I believe we have 10,000 out there that can say, yeah, I want to support. I want to be there $9.99 a month, or maybe you buy a year, but $9.99 a month is great, right? It's a beautiful thing, right, to have your own, because we always talk about these platforms. All these platforms, they censor people. And you better believe if Kamala Harris get elected, it's going to be some censorship. You better believe that. They already talking about the censorship. So it's better to be ahead of the curve instead of behind it and playing catch up, right? So that's why we need 10,000 people on our app. So appreciate that. I think somebody said, if he mentioned this one more time, I'm going to mention it again. So the reason why I mention things about the Ethiopia trip, those of you who going on that, about, hey, just keep up with your stuff, is because when I get reports, sometimes they say, hey, could you remind people about that? So that's why I do it. I don't do it for my health, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole lot of other things I would like to do with my health, but that's not one of them, right? So I'm only doing it because of that. And sometimes people need a reminder, just need a reminder. That's it. It is not leather. It is not leather. No, I don't have a leather jacket. No, not at all. What is this material? I don't even know the material. I just saw it in the store one day. I was in Macy's. They had a sale. I was going to go somewhere. So I say, shoot, man, I like that jacket. So I picked it up, and that's really what that is. I've wore this before. It's nothing new. So, all right. Thank you, descendant of freed woman. I appreciate you very much. Hey, listen. I have to be prepared, sister. A goddess Navi. I have to be prepared mentally for everything that come my way. Even in my life, I have learned to try to be prepared for one thing or another. Of course, I want the positive to happen. I don't want the negative, but in my mind, I have to think, okay, if this happened, what I'm going to do? If that happened, what I'm going to do, right? When it comes to human beings, what's going to happen if this human being does this? What if this happened if the human being does that? How am I prepared for that, right? And listen, this is the Democrats we're talking about, okay? And they will go to great lengths to do things. We see that, okay? So that's the only thing I'm saying. That's why I told y'all it's better for you to I know people want to choose the couch and that's your business. You can choose it. But if you want to vote for Jill Stein, that's fine. You ain't got to vote for Trump. I'm not saying to vote for Trump. I'm just saying keep her out of there because, like I said, she's an empty pantsuit, and she proves it every day. Right? I'm not saying I don't know her personally. I'll actually laugh at her when she just start laughing because I think it's kind of funny that she seriously just break out and laughing at weird times. But it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me see who we going okay, yeah, I'm trying to think. Either the courthouse, we need to go to court today. So what we doing? We doing Woody? Or we doing the young white lady in court? I don't know. We need to do one of them today. We did Tiffany yesterday. It's gonna be either one of them, either Woody or the young white girl in court. Let me see here. What we got? All right. Y'all help me decide. The little young white girl, Woody. Which one? Y'all want to see? You saying Woody? All right. Y'all, enough people have spoken. All right, we'll go with what you say. I'm seeing a lot of you say. Some people say, 2 people say white lady. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 people white, 3 white lady. 3 say Woody. All right, this we'll do. We'll do Woody. You say another one say young white girl. Another one say Woody. I'm seeing a little bit more Woodies. I think so. This we'll do. We'll do Woody today, and then we'll do young white girl tomorrow, guarantee.
I probably did. I would Detective Thorpe, his brain was the size of a squirrel brain. So you could just tell him anything, he gonna go for it.
You're right. At this time, the state's going to ask permission to treat Mr. Copeland as a hostile witness under pursuant to 24-6-611, Your Honor.
Granted.
Thank you.
What that mean?
Don't worry about it. That's just for her to understand how she can ask the questions. You just continue to answer them truthfully.
Isn't it true that in this January 11, 2015 interview, that you told Detective Thorpe that at Club Pusha on that Monday before Donovan Thomas was killed, that Kel punched you in the back of your head?
I don't recall what I told the detective.
And is it all? I'm sorry. Sure.
I don't recall what I told him specifically, however you pronounce it.
Okay. And is it also true that after Kel punched you in the back of the head, then other people came and began jumping on you as well?
They time gonna come.
That's not the question I asked you. Is it true that you told Detective Thorpe during this January 11, 2000 interview that after Kel punched you in your head, that other individuals also began to jump on you as well?
I don't recall what I done told the police. Y'all gonna charge me for what I did? I don't did the time for the crimes y'all caught me for.
Okay. Would you mind your language while we're sitting here in court?
I'm trying to. You got me. Y'all need to give me a break because my blood pressure is real high. I keep telling y'all, leave me alone.
Okay. And the quicker we get through this, the quicker we can leave you alone. Do you understand?
Okay, I don't recall.
Okay. Going back to January 11th, 2015.
I don't recall.
Can I finish the
They
question?
didn't listen to the question.
And they keep bringing up Thug name. So what I did was, to get him off of me, I said, Thug did this, Thug did that, Thug did, because I knew they would never, I knew he didn't do it. And in my mind, I knew that the police would never go mess with him. So it was easy for me to try to throw the blame off on him to get them off of me. And that's what I was doing from all these years. I don't remember what I done told them in the past, but my whole motive was Thug did it because I knew he didn't do it, and they couldn't lock him up. And they keep talking about Thug. So guess what I'm gonna tell them? Yeah. What else you want me to tell them? Yeah, he killed this person. Yeah, he did that. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's right now. If I walk out this thing and they say, if I walk out this thing and they say, the police stop me now. Hey man, give me something about Thug. Make something up about him again.
On January 11, 2015, when you went to speak to the police.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Woody. Shout out to Woody. Woody doing his thing. Now, Woody was a killer now, so he made a deal with the state. So that's why Woody was talking like he was talking on that stand. There's so much content of Woody. It's so funny. But all right, let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get started. Started. All right, so I was checking online and also checking Chat GPT as well. Some of you can still get registered to vote in your prospective states online, and if you have not been registered to vote yet, you can do that. If you want to participate, now you may not want to participate. You may say, "Man, I ain't worried about none of them. I'm choosing this couch." Then that has nothing to do with you, but. I said that I'm voting against blue no matter who, right? I already said that. So there you go. All right. So your favorite vice president of the United States, Kamala Desi Harris, not Miss Imhoff, but Harris, she wears the pantsuit. She never wears a dress. I don't understand that, but, You know, Doug is an interesting character himself, right? He's a very, very interesting character. You know, he cheated on his wife with the nanny, got her pregnant. Another woman he was messing with slapped her in the mouth. You know, so he's an interesting character that she married. She was on 60 Minutes, and we want to look at 2 clips from the 60 Minutes interview. And we want to go through this, right? And like I said, I may be stopping things for a reason because, like I said, I have to watch this footage a little bit. So let's get started with your favorite vice president of the United States of America. Here we go.
Was democracy best served by President Biden stepping down and basically handing you a nomination? You didn't have to go through a primary process. You didn't have to fight off other contenders. That's not really the way our system was intended to work.
President Biden made a decision that I think history is going to show is rare among leaders, which was to put country before self. And I am proud to have earned the support of the vast majority of delegates and to have been elected the Democratic nominee. I am proud to have received the endorsement of leaders around this country from every background and walk of life to fight in this election over the next month for our democracy.
But I think this truncated
Let's stop that right there. Hold on. Okay. So she had no problem being selected. Remember, it's the delegates that selected her, not you, the American people, not even Democrats all over the country, right? Now, we know some Democrats are just blind. They're going to follow what the party says. So that's fine. But we talking about, now, you mentioned a democracy. Also, I want you to pay attention to something. Again, I'm going to rewind this back, right? So people that understand body language, right? So this man's going to ask a question. I want you to look at her eyes when she's talking, right? Just pay attention that she doesn't look at him. She's looking away. She's looking all around. And most people would say, something's not right with you doing that. But watch this again. Why?
nation. You didn't have to go through a primary process. You didn't have to fight off other contenders. That's not really the way our system was intended to work.
President Biden made a decision that I think history is going to show is rare among leaders, which was to put country before self.
You're lying. I think you're lying. Because why did you look away when you said that? You couldn't even look Bill, I think Bill Whitaker's the brother's name. You couldn't even look the man in the eye and say that. You looked away like this while you was talking. Then you start looking down. Man, come on, Kamala. You know that Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and the donors and all y'all Democrat power brokers push Biden out. That man did not want to do that. Y'all enacted a Democrat coup against Biden. And the reason why it was successful because I heard, and I even believe what I heard, that y'all was going to do the 25th Amendment against President Biden if he would not move to the side. You understand? And you are one piece of work, ma'am, because instead of you standing by and said, no, this man took me when I was cast out. Nobody wanted me, even though you called him a racist. Because why would you want to go work for a racist? I would want to go work for a racist. If I told somebody, hey, man, you racist, bruh, I'm not going to say I want a job from them because I don't want to work with a racist, right? This woman she doesn't have character enough to say, if you say someone's a racist, so either what, did you lie on him and say he was a racist? Because you clearly took the vice president job, right? So he had you up there the whole time, right? It's his vice president. And when it was time to back up Joe Biden like you should have told Nancy Pelosi, you should have told Barack Obama, you should have told Hillary Clinton, you should have told the donors, I am not going to be a part of that. My name is not going to be part of any of that because Joe Biden did not have to select me for vice president, the least I'm going to do is ride with him to the end. And if I want to run, I will run in 2028 if I want to run for president, right? But as of right now, I'm going to be supportive. I'm not going to be the nominee. Choose somebody else, right? Joe Biden would have like, okay, all right, she loyal. Okay, cool. Let me tell you something. His wife ain't forgot. His wife and some of the things that Biden is doing, which I'm going to talk about, something else he just recently did to her, is interesting. I know his wife behind some of this stuff that he's doing because I know how women are. I know how women talk when you as a husband and your wife is upset about something that somebody else did and she wants some get back, or your wife is telling you, oh, this is what we about to do. And it's not about to be a choice. It's not about to be a choice. When your wife is set off by what another woman did or pulled, you better go along with it. But okay, all right. So let me get back to your girl Kamala. Hold on. Thought this thing was queued up. Okay, there we go. All right.
And I am proud to have earned the support of the vast majority of delegates and to have been elected the Democratic nominee.
You didn't earn anything, ma'am. You were selected. See, when y'all talk about democracy, right? All you Democrats that say democracy, democracy, democracy. Do y'all think the way she was selected is democracy? Where was at least Joe Biden was selected by a democracy, 14 million Democrats in primaries, even though it wasn't really a primary. But still, people got to go vote in the primary, right? 14 million people. She didn't get anything. And I'm telling you Democrats something, you Democrat voters. This will set a new precedent, not only with the Democrat Party, but it also can happen with the Republican Party as well. If she becomes president of the United States and the party selected her, gone is y'all selecting y'all people. Gone. Who's to say if she can get away with that, or the Republicans can get away with that, or whatever party can get away with that? Who's to say Congress could just vote for the president, not you? Who's to say that, right? This should be an outrage, really, with the Democrat Party, but they don't care. That's how much they're not invested into democracy. Let's continue.
I am proud to have received the endorsement of leaders around this country from every background and walk of life to fight in this election over the next month for our democracy.
But I think this truncated process is why people think or say they don't really know who you are.
Look, I've been in this race for 70 days. It is without any question a short period of time, which is why I'm traveling around our country, from one state to the next to the next. It is my responsibility to earn the vote, and I'm gonna work to do that.
Covering the...
Okay, so she says she's gonna earn the vote, ladies and gentlemen. She's gonna earn it. Well, how could you earn the vote when you didn't even go participate in the primary? How could you earn a vote when you didn't even debate other Democrats, right? We ain't talking about the Trump debate. We're talking about other Democrats. You didn't share your ideas against other Democrats, right? So, no, you were installed, ma'am. You are what people would say, what's that word I'm looking for? It's in my head, but I don't know if that's the right definition. Hold on. Let me make sure before I say anything about what kind of candidate she is. Hold on. Wrong word. Hold on. What's the definition? Oh, I was right. She's a Manchurian candidate. I was going to say it, but I want to make sure that I was using the right word. Yes, she's a Manchurian candidate. Basically, she's being used as a puppet. That's all. We all know this. Just like we saw with the teleprompter situation, she can't talk without a teleprompter because she's proven herself to be an empty pantsuit. That's why she tells the same stories over and over and over and over again. No remix, no adding to the story. If you ask me about my childhood, I can tell you 1,000 stories about my childhood, how I grew up, what happened, who my friends were, about the neighborhood. You know, I can tell you about drinking out that water hose. I can tell you all kind of stories. She don't have no drinking out the water hose stories. She don't have that. You know, she don't have the neighborhood crackhead stories. She don't have that. You know what I'm saying? She don't have nothing. She don't have no stories talking about running from the police. She don't have them stories. She can't talk about nothing. That's why she have the same old story. She can't talk about going to the neighborhood grocery store and getting some of those pickles over there and biting the top of them pickles and put that peppermint stick in there and let the peppermint melt in there a little bit, boy. So you bite in there, get that good peppermint taste of the pickles. See, Kamala can't talk about that sort of thing, right? That's why she rehearses the same stories over and over and over and over again. She can't talk about clothing. She can't talk about errors. She can't talk about anything because she's a Manchurian candidate, an empty pantsuit, right? But that's the people that, you know, the boule crash out for. This is the people that black men in particular, you are shamed. You are shamed. Yeah, you're right. Beauty with brains, yes. No authentic stories at all. Somebody wrote that story for her, and they say, listen, when you go on interviews, you say this story about the middle class, and just keep repeating this story on every interview, literally like a propagandist. It's no remix of the story. It's nothing added. She don't even tell you where the neighborhood was at. People can say, oh, yeah, I stayed on this street. I stayed on that street, you know, like me. I'm like, yeah, we used to go on Cherry Street, and we used to go down here to Willow. We used to go down here to Maple and all these different streets. She don't mention streets. She don't mention neighborhoods. She don't mention nothing. She tell the same, like, listen, your mama and them, your mama's not here anymore, so she's not living in that neighborhood. I understand she still stayed there, so you can't be, you know, saying certain things. Her sister don't stay in the neighborhood no more, so you could actually talk about your old neighborhood where you stayed, but the thing is, she talk about her whole neighborhood, you're going to say, wait a minute. You didn't even grow up here. You grew up in Canada. Well, what are you talking about? You can't relate to us, especially black Americans, right? You definitely can't relate to us as black Americans. You didn't go through no crack epidemic. You didn't know how the LA riots affected you, even though you didn't live in LA. You definitely couldn't relate to OJ, because when I was in school, when the OJ trial was going on, okay, and I remember when OJ was found innocent. I remember how it went down in our school. I'll never forget it. She can't talk about OJ and how it was with OJ when he was found innocent. She can't relate to any of that. That's what I'm saying. She has she can't relate. That's her issue. She can't relate. And that's why the man say, well, people don't know you. That's why. The easiest way to relate to people is just talk about certain things that you grew up with, certain things in history, certain food, cultural foods. Like when you mentioned, I put greens in the bathtub, it's like, man, ain't nobody I know go put. One thing about black people, we would never put food in a bathtub. Hell no. A bathtub is meant to go clean yourself. It's not meant to be cleaning food. Any black person I know clean their stuff in the sink, not the bathtub. Man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She has no answers or policies, only talking points that was given to her by her Democrat masters. Understand? Now let's get to one of the most important parts of this exchange that I wanted to definitely talk about. Open borders, right? Open borders is a very, very important topic because open borders has affected America more than most. A lot of people right now in Florida is about to get hit with a major, major hurricane. And definitely my prayers go out to all of the people in Florida. I hope y'all took what they said seriously about getting out of there. I really hope so. That hurricane is not nothing to play with. My rule about hurricanes when it comes to evacuations, if it's category 2 or up, I'm out of here. I am not playing with any hurricane category 2 and up. I learned my lesson a long time ago. A category 1, oh, I'll ride that one out. But not 2 or higher, not doing it. I'm out. I'm going to pack myself up and my family, we out. You know, like some people say, especially if you save, that's why I tell people, especially live in a hurricane zone. Let me give y'all some advice. Have you, and hopefully you have a credit card that maybe got a high limit, and just leave that credit card alone. Just don't touch it, right? Have that credit card, have some discipline. Don't touch that credit card for no reason. That way, when it's time to evacuate, for some reason, whatever the case may be, you got that credit card and you say, hey, you know, let's go it on and get on out of here. Maybe if you got enough for plane tickets, but you probably don't want to leave your cars behind. So let's say go ahead, drive somewhere or whatever. You can drive to another city. Like last time I evacuated, we went to Austin, right? We stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel because they was allowing us to have our dogs there or whatever. And so everybody had their dogs at the Intercontinental. So that was fine, right? Okay, then after all that, we came right back. So have you a credit card? And of course, if you have a home, you own a home, if you can get a Generac, the one that powers your whole house, you know, it's good to have that. You got to have that. So it's very important. So, but have a credit card is what I learned. Have a credit card so you can move, because it can come out of nowhere during hurricane season. Now, let's get back to the border, right? So we know during this administration, we've seen record number of migrants come into this country. We've seen in places like Chicago, New York, Denver, they have been put all over the place, right? Just to name a few. And Mayor Eric Adams, at first he was on the Democrat thing with the migrants, but then he realized, say, wait a minute, that's taking way too much money out of New York. Hey, I need some money back, right? And I really believe that's why he got indicted, because he kept calling them out. And we know that administration, the Biden-Harris administration, they believe in lawfare. They believe in that. So Mr. Bill Whitaker here, he asked a question that everybody wanted to know to Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's go ahead and cue that part up here.
Border for years.
I want y'all to notice something. When she say something and she knows she's not telling the truth, you know she always looks away. Pay attention to her. I want y'all to pay attention to Kamala, because that's her thing. Watch. Saw how she kept looking away to the right. She kept looking away to the right. I'm like, is that when she lying? Because she this is a. Oh God. Oh, okay. She didn't clearly answer. So the brother saying you've had quadruple amount of people come into this country ever since y'all got in here. Yeah, duh. And asked her, hey, do you regret some of the things y'all done? And she don't regret it. She don't regret it. And the only reason why they did something now is because of office right now, because they know they continue to allow it the way it was going, Trump would very easily, right? So she's running off of something they did now, but what about all the people you let flood into this country? We don't know where they come from. You've let in people who have committed unaliving people. You've let sexual deviants in this country. You've let pedos into this country. You've let gang members into this country. You were just flooding this country like no tomorrow. And I know that y'all did that for a particular reason, right? We understand that. Then, and shout out to Sister Demetra, shout out to her. She shared with me a video from D.L. Hughley. I'm not going to cue it up, but he was on this. Oh, y'all Americans don't want to do the jobs. These immigrants going to do the jobs. They keep up with that lie, and that is very offensive to say that to Americans, that they don't want to do jobs. Who are you? How do you know? Have you polled every American or what jobs they want to do, sir? But I get so tired of these entertainers talking. I don't look at them as any kind of political minds. The majority of them are kind of like gnats. They just flying around, just buzzing and just getting on your nerves. And you're like that, right? That's how I look at them. And I'm so glad a lot of Black Americans are also looking at these entertainers like that when they speak on politics. Like, my main thing is stay in your place. And that's how Black Americans got to view them. You're an entertainer, entertain. Stay out of politics, period. Unless you got an education in it and you live that now. But no, you are for sale to whatever political party that's going to, in 9 times out of 10, is going to be the Democrats, right? But the migrant crisis in this country, it was not a natural phenomenon, okay? Yes, it's been an issue, but it's been an issue even prior to them, but they didn't come over here easily with Trump. Now, when you give them free stuff, okay? When you give them free stuff, when you incentivize illegal immigration, they're going to come. Why wouldn't they? In their countries, they don't get free hotels. They don't get free cell phones. They don't get free money for food. They don't get free cash just to have. They don't get any of that in their country. But when they come over here, they can just take, right? They come over here to take. In this administration, I want y'all to realize the migrants didn't have to worry about high food prices because they were being papered up by the Biden-Harris administration. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to worry about high gas prices. They didn't have to worry about rent because they were still living for free in hotels while you was worried about rent, while you was worried about your interest rates, you know, with your house and all of that and your mortgage payments going up. The migrants didn't have that problem, ladies and gentlemen, because the Biden-Harris administration made sure to paper them up, made sure they live rent-free. Think about it. How much money you think you can keep in your pocket if you got to live rent-free, free food, right? And you get a job fair. And let's say you get a job and you still living rent-free. And then these jokers are buying cars. These jokers are buying scooters. These jokers are getting all kind of things. These jokers want to go buy food trucks. Hello to the sister that reported that. These jokers will go and get food trucks. They're starting businesses, not getting jobs. They're starting businesses and getting money from our federal government to start businesses. But what about people like yourself or me that want to get money? We got to go through all kind of hoops and show your bank statements, show your taxes, what's your credit history like, show this license, show this, show that, all these scrutiny we got to go through to even get $5,000. But they can come right over and just with nothing, just be handed everything. That was the Biden-Harris administration who done that. And y'all better remember that. You talk about reparations. You know where your reparations money went? To the migrants. That's where your reparations money went. See, the Democrat Party told you, no, you're not getting reparations. You ain't getting it. But we had no problem giving your reparations money to the migrants. We said, hey, let's pay something. Pay it over 10 years, 15 years, something like that. The Democrats said, hell no, I'm not giving you nothing. Look at your boy Gavin Newsom in California. Look at him. What did he do? They sabotaged the reparations bill to create the agency so you can see who's qualified to receive reparations. He didn't even want the agency created to see who qualifies for reparations or not. Think about that. It wasn't even at the cash payments part. It was about the agency to see who would qualify for the cash payment reparations based on the commission. The second thing that he actually did veto was any black person that had their land taken away from them, eminent domain or racist means, they were supposed to get their land back, but Gavin Newsom vetoed the bill and say, no, black Americans, you can't get your land back. That's why I don't ever want to hear nobody comparing black Americans to any other group, because no other group in this country has dealt with the theft of land like black Americans, the destruction of our businesses, the destruction of our churches, a lot of women's husbands being put up in a tree somewhere. Okay, a lot of women's husbands went to go to the grocery store to go get milk and different things and never came back, and not because they just left their family. It's because them folks got at them and took their life. You know how many times that was happening to black people? There's been many stories like, yeah, my dad one day went to go get milk from the store. He never came back. Y'all better know our history. Other groups of men don't have that story in this country. That's why even to this day, when people are so silly in the black community and you try to compare, oh, this group of people make more money on average than black people do. Yeah. Why shouldn't they? Nobody is oppressing other groups of people in this country. Nobody. No other group of people have been redlined like black people. Nobody's family has been directly targeted like black people. You understand? Their families are intact. All these other groups that come in here, their families are intact. They don't have no Moynihan report put out by all these other groups. They're not trying to sabotage all these other groups. Look at the migrants. They're giving them things. If you gave black Americans the same resources and left us alone like you're leaving them alone and not mass incarcerating us, but you like you're doing them. You're not mass incarcerating them no matter what they do. They commit all kind of heinous crimes and you letting their behinds right back out. If black Americans had that same opportunity, we would make $500,000 a year on average. I know my people. You can't keep black. If you let a black American thrive and leave them the hell alone, they will do great. That's why they always invested on black people. What are the black people are doing? What are the black people are saying? How the black people are voting? They are so obsessed with what black men and women are doing. You talk about delineation or whatever, it can start off online. All of a sudden they're talking about it on the Breakfast Club. I heard them the other day talking about FBA on the Breakfast Club, and they kept repeating it with Byron Donalds and all that when he was on the Breakfast Club the other day, right? They monitor every single thing that we are talking about, we're saying, how we're moving. Think about it. How black men, a portion of them want to vote for Trump. Why does it even matter? Why? Black men are the only men in this country voting. There's white men voting, Hispanic men, Asian men. Talk about how many of them voting for Trump. Think about it. Do you ever see stories about how many white men voting for Trump, how many Asian men voting for Trump, how many Hispanic men voting for Trump? They always worry about what black men are doing or how black people are voting. Oh, you black people, you got to watch the misinformation. The same quote unquote misinformation that come at black people come at everybody. It comes at everybody. But they only worry about misinformation with black men and women. They only worry about disinformation with black men and women. Why? These people are obsessed. I told you a long time ago, black Americans are the salt of America. We are the salt of America. If you remove black Americans out of America, America literally will start ceasing to exist. It's just the truth. It's the truth. When these people get in trouble, who they come to? Look about this migrant crisis. How many times have them folks come talk to you about the migrants? How many times? Hey, black people, these migrants, you know, they taking a lot of stuff, and you know they're not like y'all. I mean, y'all are Americans, but them over there, you notice all that talk going on now with the folks? All of a sudden now we Americans? All before you wasn't respecting us as Americans, but now all of a sudden when all these migrants show up, now we Americans? I hope y'all notice that. Now we Americans. Now you want to be our friend when all these migrants show up. Now you suffering a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're coming over here to black people. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all this. When you talk about delineation, it's delineating from them too. Not just others, them too. They the main one you need to delineate from. The main ones. Hey, it ain't my problem. Go over there, Brad and Becca. Go over there with that. I ain't hearing it. Because when I was suffering, when we was telling y'all about these issues and problems about these migrants coming to our neighborhoods forever, they've been putting businesses in our neighborhoods. They wasn't hiring black people. Some of them were trapping and all that kind of other things they were doing in their businesses, washing money with their criminality in those same businesses, right? Now they starting to come over here to your neighborhood. Now you know some resources coming away from you. Now all of a sudden you want to come over here to black people and say, yeah, I see what y'all talking about now. The migrant crisis is only really a crisis for a lot of them because it's starting to touch them a little bit. And you're right, Veronica. They don't care. See, you can go back to the pandemic. If COVID-19 was just taking us out in the millions, they wouldn't have said nothing about it. They'd been like, these black people got a disease. We need to quarantine them black people. They wouldn't have cared about, we need to try to fix this thing. Oh, no. Only when that pandemic touched them. Then they want to throw the kitchen sink at it. Now, why don't you throw in the kitchen sink at cancer like you did this virus? Cancer has taken out a lot of people. Throw the kitchen sink at that. But they don't want to do that. See, the migrant crisis is really their fault. It ain't our fault. Because I tell you what, if I had to be the president of the United States or anything controlled by some borders, you're not coming here. I would go to the UN and tell them, look, these asylum laws, nobody can just show up here no more. You must go to the countries around you. You can't just come up here. The only people that could come here and claim asylum because they kind of connected here is, let's say, Mexico and Canada. Anybody else, you need to go over there where you come from. Because all these people where they come from, how you skip all these countries that you going from to come up here? No, that's not asylum. You want free stuff at that point. You got people coming from China. Okay, fine. You mean to tell me you couldn't go to no other country? You couldn't go to no countries in Europe? You couldn't go to no country, other Asian countries? You got a lot of Arab states around there, not too far from China, right? Why are you coming way over here? You're in the African continent. Okay, what's something going on? You couldn't go to another African country? Not every African country got bad things going on. You're in Latin America. There's a lot of stable Latin American countries. I went to Costa Rica, last December. Costa Rica's nice. They didn't have nothing going on bad in Costa Rica. Y'all pass up Costa Rica to come up here to the United States? No, man. No, they couldn't come up here. No. Not here. Not here. Not if I had anything to do with it. Oh, you don't want immigrants. No. You could come the legal way. You could make an application, and once you go through the process, welcome to the United States of America. I'll shake your hand. You can come visit, and then you need to go right back. You know, where you come from. You can't overstay your visa. That ain't happening. But yeah. I mean, all this illegal immigration, this was the Biden-Harris administration, and it has cost billions of dollars per year, ladies and gentlemen. Billions of dollars per year. But yet they don't have money for reparations. But the Boulay tell you that the Democrats is the closest, it's the only party that will give us reparations. You say you're calling the X-Men? Okay. Yeah, that's another thing, Gary Mack. You're right. The immigrants keep that money within their neighborhoods, not like black folks, and it's meaning white folks aren't making money off of them. Yeah, they know how to see. The reason why they can practice group economics, now let's go back to that. They can practice group economics because their families are intact. You got to remember, when the black family is intact, we were practicing group economics a lot better too. You understand? You see, they don't have all this black, the men against the women, the disrespect. It's not allowed in the culture. It's just not allowed. Disrespecting the parents, disrespecting the grandparents. That's not allowed. And they'll tell you, no, I can't go with my family doing that. Become friends with people of other groups. I'm not talking about the folks. I'm talking about these other groups. whether they're African, Caribbean, if they Hispanic, Asian, the parents are greatly respected in these different communities. You understand? And because these parents are respected in these communities, that still holds the family intact. Even shame is still have its work in those communities. Give me some water. I am thirsty. I don't know what. Did they turn the AC down? Jesus. I'm feeling like one of the preachers today, sweating. I'd rather even sweating here. Maybe my jacket. I don't know. But yeah, shame still have a work in their communities, right? And because shame still has a work in their communities, that's why they can kind of hold their family still together a little bit. Unfortunately, living around these people, they have made this system so wicked that a lot of our people don't have shame anymore. A lot of our people are truly Oreos. And when you hear people say Oreo, you're thinking about the shucking and jiving, sellout part of Oreo. No. It's deeper than that when I mean Oreo. Oreo really means you're black on the outside, but you're white in the inside. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of black people who have white culture. And they do the exact same things that people in white culture do. So a lot of people are Oreos. That's why some black people would do some things with no shame, because they've taken on white culture. And they're white in the inside, but they look black on the outside. You understand? And that's just really what it is. And that's been our problem. And that's a big symptom of desegregation. When desegregation happened and we got away from our people, our culture, our neighborhoods, we start taking on the ways of white culture. And you're not the chocolate Oreo, because they do have a chocolate Oreo that's dark chocolate and everything. They have a dark chocolate Oreo that's dark chocolate in the inside and black on the outside, right? No, they have that kind of Oreo, but we talking about the Oreo that's the white one. That's really a lot of our people problem that happened with desegregation. You say you used to date a man, his coworkers called him Oreo? Yeah. And then if you call him out on it, oh, well, we're not a monolith. It's not saying that we have to be a monolith, but bro, we can clearly see you have kind of thrown away Black American culture. And Black American culture, it doesn't mean you have to be ignorant, say the N-word, listen to hip hop, or any of that stupidity, because that's what they'll say when you say, hey man, you kind of like an Oreo, bro, And the first thing they say, oh, just because I don't smoke weed and listen to rap and say the N-word, I'm like, so you use basically some of the stereotypical sound like, and you really sound like a racist when you say that, because last time I checked, I've met many black people who don't use that language, who's very educated, who's doing very well for themselves as Black Americans. So if you're thinking Black American culture is that means you are extremely ignorant. You're ignorant. And you don't know anything. Maybe you need to get around black people. I always tell people this: when somebody assume a group of people is one way, oh, these people are this way, these people, I'll say, okay, that tells me you haven't learned anything. If you think all black people is hood, that means you haven't been around all black people. Clearly. Because when we talk about the boule is not hood people. Okay? So clearly, if you're not even talking about the boule and those types, then clearly you haven't been around black people. And I met the boule types, some of them boule and some of them it'll be cool, whatever. I ain't got a problem if you're in a fraternity or sorority. I met some that's real cool. I'm not saying every person that's in a boule is a bad person. I'm not saying that. But we talking about those talking heads, because I've talked to a few that's in the boule, and some of them told me specifically that it's more so the leadership of those fraternities and sororities that's like in lockstep with the Democrat Party. And that's really what it is. It's not every member that's in it. I say, okay, so I have to respect that. I don't discount that. Because see, like, unlike some people, I'm not trying to be ignorant, right? I don't want to say every person in the fraternity sorority is a bad person. Every person in the fraternity sorority is selling out for the Democrats. Because I've met some who are Republicans, and they are in fraternities and sororities. They went to HBCUs. But when you get around your people enough, you start learning those things, right? Yeah. It was a few months ago I met some brothers from two different fraternities. One was at Omega, and I forgot what the other fraternity brother was from, and both of them were Republicans. And I was shocked because mostly, you know, a lot of times they were linked to the Democrats. We say, no, there's a lot of our brothers out here that's Republicans. I was like, wow, actual Republicans. I was like, oh, wow. I said, okay, that's interesting. You know, and I got curious. I mean, I wanted to know why, you know, when you became Republican, how that happened. I asked questions. You know, of course, they all have their Democrat story. I was raised Democrat. You know, everything was Democrat for me. But then they got to certain levels in life where they saw certain things with the party change. They say it wasn't the same party as it was when I was younger. This party today, I can't support it. You know, and they start explaining why they couldn't support it. And I said, okay, all right, I got you, brother. I got you. And that's that. You know, I think one of the brothers explained to me that, you know, because he's a Republican, he has a hard time dating black women because he has stated that when they talk about politics and you say he's a Republican, a lot of black women will turn him away. And he said, now, if I wanted to be with white women, that'd be very easy, especially with that. He said, but I don't want no white woman. He said, I want to marry a black woman. He said, so that's why I'm still single, because a lot of these black women will turn you away. I said, not every black woman is a Democrat. I say, because I've met plenty who are Republicans. So maybe you need to kind of go to those areas and talk to those women, you know, but the average ones in Houston, because where you at? I say Houston is a big Democrat city. So you need to kind of maybe on these outskirts talk to some of the people out there, you know. But that's just here nor there, right? Then you got some brothers that told me that's just not affiliated with no political party. They just independents. And some sisters they try to date, you know, they get to talk about politics and they say, hey, I ain't no Democrat, I'm independent. Sometimes they have a problem with that too. If you're not a Democrat, some of these sisters are not rocking with you. So that's that. That is that. Oh, Byron Donald. Oh, yeah. Byron Donald's not black American, but he was raised here. So of course he's gonna have the American accent. You know, he didn't he go to FAMU and then he transferred to another school or something like that later. But when Byron Donald said he didn't support reparations, I said, okay, where he from? That's the first thing I said. Where is he from? And then he explained that Jamaican and Panamanian. I wish Byron Donalds would talk to me and say that mess. I would check him. I said, bro, you don't even qualify. So why are you even saying anything? That's the problem. It's like, I would tell him that's why a lot of us really don't want people like you as our representation anymore. Because how are we going to get somewhere as black Americans, but you sitting up here shooting it down? Because you're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Yep. So, yeah, we got to start looking at these backgrounds of some of these people that's running. And if they're not on code or whatever, then don't vote for them. Because I'm like that too now. I don't want these people with these different backgrounds representing me too much, because every time we need something, that's the black congressperson. See, Byron Donald said he didn't support reparations. You know, no. We need to get all them people out the way. You know what I'm saying? Either you're going to be an ally as an immigrant or you're going to be an enemy. I prefer you be an ally. But if you're going to be an enemy, then we need to make sure that you're not voted in. We need to call you out. We need to point out where you from, where your people from. No, we're not going to allow that. Just like I did an interview with a young lady. Everybody told me I needed to interview. That's why I did it. From South Africa, to talk about immigration, and she was saying the same thing, that immigrants over there be trying to undermine them. You know, calling them lazy, saying they're better than them. I say, you know what? I said, that's some of the same things we're told in America. I said, that story mirrors very well, don't it? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, all right, we about wrapping this thing up. So I thank y'all for joining us here tonight on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. It's very important. That way you can come back and you remember. Make sure you watch all the news reports we're posting here from everybody, from Sister Demetra to Naledi to Juan Gail to Emma to Sister Vicky. I think Sister Vicky will be on here tomorrow live during the day. So, yeah, she'll be on here tomorrow live during the day. But I'm still going to do my 7 p.m. show like normal. That's for sure. And and some people's favorite Renelle Way, right? You know, Renelle Way. She got a lot going on with South Africans. I tell you, it's an interesting dynamic to watch that happening. But make sure also you click the like button. Click the like button. You know, that way you let the algorithm know, hey, we like it, so share this to other places. So thank y'all for watching.